Welcome to The Growth Equation. This isn't your typical business podcast. We're keeping it real about the challenges of scaling up, period. I'm Tristan Wright and I've been there. I've built and scaled my own business. I've sold it. I've learned a ton along the way. Now I'm bringing you the no BS stories of founders who are in the trenches right now, navigating that messy middle. We're talking advertising, marketing, design, creative, branding, the whole 9 yards. Doesn't matter if you're a solopreneur or running a team of 100. Everyone's got a secret sauce, that thing that makes them different, better. We're going to uncover it. So grab a coffee and let's get real. Today we're talking to Robin from RH Media. Robin, how are you, mate?
Tristan, very well, mate. Very well, busy, but doing all right. How you getting on? You all right?
Yeah, always the correct amount of busy for me. So
Yeah.
I'm never too busy to spend time with family and friends, but it's you've always done something at the end of each day. So
You might have to teach me, mate. You know, have to teach me about that.
I might have to put a pitch in at the end. We'll have a chat at the end. So last time we were talking, man, you had said that you've got a few new clients are about to onboard, and then just before we turned on the record button, you said they're starting to refer you in. So tell me a bit about that. We'll get into all your business now, but you said right now you're flat out.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, being in the marketing space, and I'm sure that you know this, you know, there's a lot of push online, especially around how you acquire clients. And, you know, when I first started my business back in 2018, I thought it was just ads, but also there's some sort of insecurities that I perhaps was facing after sort of moving away from away from my corporate job, that I go out and explore, or like try to bring clients on from the US or from the UK, which, you know, we did, but I think I was running away from what actually was perhaps my biggest strength. And that's actually building relationships with people. You know, there's a whole history of how I've grown up. So, going back to now, these clients weren't from ads. These clients weren't from, you know, a phenomenal marketing campaign or funnel. It was me actually reaching out, speaking to some good people, networking, just saying that we can solve these particular problems. And lo and behold, you know, we've got these really big clients, or corporate clients, which I thought, well, hang on, these guys, they've already got all these amazing sort of workflows and automations, but I think through red tape and just a lot of bureaucracy, it doesn't, you know, these systems that you and I both know of, they don't have. So lo and behold, went in, said we can solve this, we can automate a lot of these manual processes. And after we built that first sort of campaign, we're like, well, hang on, speak to these guys over here, they need the exact same thing. Or I'm a chairman of a business that I sit on another board, speak to them as well, they don't have this. So yeah, that's why I'm busy. And I think I spoke to you as well, we've got a young one on the way in a couple of weeks, so I'm trying to juggle that as well. But hey, yeah, we'll figure it out.
At the end of the day, it's better to be busy than it is to be quiet. So one thing picked up out of that is small businesses are agile. They've got the ability to test and implement. Medium and large businesses, as you mentioned, there's a lot of red tape and they're slow, and they do things the way they've been doing it for years. And there's a massive opportunity. Medium and large businesses are realizing that they can learn from these smaller businesses are a lot more agile. And your rewards at the moment.
I don't think it's anything revolutionary. I mean, you know, what these guys offer is, I mean, I would say that is quite sort of bleeding edge in the sense that, you know, they've built their own sort of AI, a large language model. And because Australia is quite sensitive in the sense of like the data that they've got, you know, whilst there's GPT and DeepSeek and all these other ones out there, they're looking for someone at home who could provide that. And that's who we're working with, you know, ones that's leading that space. So yes, I think it's also trying to find the right individual, because like you said, these small to medium businesses, they've got all these AI bots and you know, these things that are just building relationships on their websites that is only imaginable with these other larger organizations. So it's pretty interesting.
Totally. Now, before we deep dive into that, tell us about your business. I know a tiny bit, but all of our listeners, they want to hear who you are, how you got into it, what your past career was, and by the sounds of it, what your business started as isn't what it is today.
No, it definitely isn't. And I think this is sort of more about myself. Like I thought I was going to be a NRL football player, I thought I was going to be a star in the sense of making, the Seagulls up here in Manly, but that was far from it. I do have to credit my old man as well because growing up, I've always loved tech. One of my first sort of computers was like a black screen with green writing on it. And I was like tapping away. Yeah.
You're showing your
While
age
everyone
now,
else
mate.
was.
How old?
Oh, to be fair, it was so I'm 36.
Yeah,
36, but I
those
was exposed
computers
to those.
were old. Your old man must have had an old computer then. So when you were
Oh,
tapping,
yeah. Well, my grandfather had that, and I was just in the basement, just learning about that type of thing. But it was
yeah,
funny because I always wanted to go down the route of like personal training or working in fitness. And then my dad goes, "Well, hang on," pulled my ear aside. He goes, "Mate, you're not doing that. You've got this skill for tech." So I think this was 15, 16. Um, but anyway, as I continued to use social media, I always say to my friends, if it wasn't for the computer and if it wasn't for the internet, I'd have like a HSC score of 99. But because I found that, I think I got a mystery mark at school. So Facebook, not Facebook, MySpace and Bebo, those platforms, I was really early on, like sort of developing them and sort of coding. I think you apply so many things or customize it. So that's my history around technology. And as I started to grow and play football, I realized that, hang on, there's a big market here where there's a lot of attention going to these other platforms that I could definitely help out these small to medium businesses. And so whilst also working in IT, because I was a failed footballer, I thought, I'm going to jump. I was turning or close to turning 30, and I realized, hang on, if I'm going to have a kid and I'm going to be a father and then sort of a role model in the family, I need to pull my finger out. I need to do it on my own because I felt like there was more to sort of the glass ceiling I was hitting at the IT company. Anyway, lo and behold, I didn't have much in the savings, and I just went, you know what, stuff it, I'm going to go it. Quit my job, found a marketing course online, learned it, and I actually went to a business event, 3-day business event, and I was sitting next to Lockie. Lockie is he's a personal trainer. I think he's very close to you. He's in Berwick.
Oh yeah, yes, that's right. We were speaking.
We spoke about this. Yeah,
Berwick's just around the court because I was doing some research on your clients and I mentioned Lockie because I was like, he's only 20 minutes away. Like I don't know him or anything like that, but yeah.
No. So he found me. He spoke to 3 other marketers at this event. Didn't like any of them. Spoke to me. I told him about sort of how we can run paid advertising, what we can do on Facebook and Instagram, and also sort of the vision I had around it because he had some really cool content. It was like it wasn't being leveraged, or the ideas of like SEO and Google ads just didn't resonate, or what people are pushing to him. So I said, hey, yeah, let me come on board and help out. This was back in October 2018, by the way. Yeah. Still to this day, we literally launched his last campaign last month. And yeah, I'm forever grateful. He was my very first client, and 6.5 years later, we're still ripping in together.
He's probably now a good friend as well.
Yeah, I go down there and embarrass myself at the Christmas party. I take my team down as well. I go there for a couple of days. He hosts some really good parties because he's a very personable, so he loves his community. And so I resonated with that. And, a couple of days after, I fly back up to Sydney and tail between my legs, going, what the hell just happened? So, yeah, I love it. So that's how we started anyway. Yeah.
What was the business event that you went to? What sort of business?
Yeah, so I think it was Business Mastery by Aaron Sansoni.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, it was just one that I went, you know what, figure it out, went to it. Sorry, there was someone sitting between me and Lockie, and then on the last day, Lockie goes, can I just swap seats with that other person so he can speak to me? And we built sort of the first campaign together, not listening to Aaron up on stage, but just going, all right, cool, yeah, what can we do with you? You got some really good content, some good videos. We can put that in front of the Berwick audience. We can also target specific interests. And we had a bit of fun.
And the rest is history. So that was 2018. Off the back of that, RH Media was born. I imagine.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about, it was primarily lead gen or audience attraction type stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think back then there was really probably a small, I don't think there was many pushing that. A lot were pushing social media management, which to be fair, that's what I started on as well. It was just with Lockie. I learned it from that course. I said, hey, this is something which I don't know if the audience might know, but his name is Iman Gadzi. He's a very influential sort of personality or brand online nowadays. But back then he wasn't. But what I've found, especially with his story, was that he stood for something. Him and his mum came from a very poor part of I think Russia. Went over. He was only 18, by the way, not even. And I think the way I look at life is in the sense that, hey, if this person has that particular information, I don't care how old he is. I don't care what he looks like. I don't care. It's like I could learn something from him. And because I sort of went into it, resonated with sort of his values and his morals, I just said, yeah, that's where I'm going to get my education. And then I sold it. And then lo and behold, I thank him for getting us into the marketing space.
It's so much easier to become a point solution expert. So
Yeah.
previously you would have to go to uni. And so this, I'm not knocking uni at all. I actually still think it's quite valuable, but you can become a point solution expert like Aman did
Yeah.
very, very easily because of all the new ways of learning and education, YouTube, for instance. It can also be quite dangerous if you're a point solution expert and you don't know the greater whole marketing cycle kind of thing. So you have to have an awareness as well.
No, Tristan, you know this as well, and I think before the 2020 when we're on lockdown, we had home offices well before that. Like that's our norm, and obviously the way that we would, because marketing and advertising is always very fluid. It's like you're learning something new every day, and that's what I love about the space that we're in. Because not long ago TikTok didn't exist. Now that we're focusing on like TikTok campaigns for our clients, we're looking at different platforms as well that we can get our clients' products and services in front of the right audience. So regardless if it's Facebook or Instagram, it could even be something else. We'll find it. We'll understand where the audience is for our clients and just build upon that. So
it could be Pinterest.
Yeah.
I've got a client that, believe it or not, is so they're a florist. Sorry, not a florist. They're an online flower delivery service. So they've got florists working for them. And believe it or not, they're generating a significant amount of revenue directly attributed to Pinterest. So
Yeah, wow.
the paid marketing specialist that works for them almost fell off her chair when she realized how much you can generate out of Pinterest. It depends on your niche. Different audiences hang out in different places.
Is sort of the benefits of X. I think Twitter used to be that water cooler where people would talk quite, sort of polar ends sort of conversations. But when it comes to entrepreneurship and also with a sort of different sort of thinking around business, or maybe not more traditionalist, but like forward thinking, a lot of the audience there resonates with a number of products that some of our clients use. So we're like, hang on, yes, Facebook and Instagram is sort of the sort of big picture, also the big part of the pie. But hang on, there's other audiences in different platforms, like you said with Pinterest. That's highly converting and attributing to where they mainly sit. So we're not attached to anything. It's wherever they are, we'll go in front of them.
How much have you started playing in places like Spotify or local area TV advertising?
Well, it's funny you said that because, whilst everyone is pushing to the online space, what tends to happen is like, hey, full circle, hang on, even to the point where I said to one of our clients in Northern New South Wales, you guys there's no one advertising. Let's take market share online. Let's build that sort of reputation. But guess what? Those flyers that you had 6 months ago, now's the perfect time because those flyers, those letterbox drops that you're doing, once they see you online 2-3 o'clock in the morning, you're on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, whatever, they get this physical product that's in front of them, speaking to them. Oh, I've seen Tristan before. Hang on. Yeah, I love his stuff. There's a physical, like, there's something physical that represents a company that they're now seeing. It's like, yeah, to your point about local ads, yeah, definitely. It's like, well, hang on. How can we create omnipresence everywhere?
Yeah. So what's really powerful with Spotify, local area TV. So when I say local area TV, is 7 Plus
Yeah, of
or the
course.
online
Night
TV.
Now.
Yeah, 9 Now, all of that sort of stuff, because they still have ads, but they've got the ability for you to advertise to a specific demographic. So,
Yeah.
and then Spotify, you've got the ability to advertise against specific podcast
Ge-
types.
Yeah, genres. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tristan, you're. I mean, I'm hoping people are. I mean, obviously people are going to watch this, but mate, I'm sure that people are going to be like, "Wow, Tristan spoke about this and Robin spoke about that." Like, they're going to benefit from this. Yeah, this is the game that we play, regardless
Yeah.
of where it is. We'll learn about it, and
That's
our
it.
clients will
Like,
benefit because of it.
got to be agnostic. So RH Media started lead gen and social media stuff. Today, fast forward to today, what's the pivot? Where's the journey been? What do you look like today?
Yeah, so I mean, believe it or not, paid advertising is still part of our sort of our solution for our clients, but it's entirely the customer journey. So from prospect, those nurturing sequences, all the way in between, to even this sale as well, and not just a sale. It's like how can we on sell further products and services that they could benefit from with our clients. So we look at like clients database reactivation. We look at type of new services and new products based on customer feedback. So it's not just like, hey, we'll deliver one service, which is running your ads, because that becomes a commodity. I think especially after the lockdown, every man and their dog had a marketing company. I think you said this beforehand. Point of solution is, can't remember what you said exactly.
Point solution, like like a very, very narrow niche type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being able to
And
be an expert at
it was
one.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, that's good to have experts in that space. But I think when you spoke about, understanding the entire journey or entire marketing sphere, I think that's very important. So when it came from, okay, we deliver these phenomenal services for our e-com home services type clients, even some of our SaaS clients, it's like, hang on, we can solve a lot more than what we're doing initially. So again, when it comes to, how are the leads initially learning about the business? Okay, yeah, cool, through ads. But then when they come through, what's that nurturing sequence like? How are we further adding more value to them, but also the additional touch points? Because I think, back then it was when we first started, and again, I'm just only throwing numbers here, but maybe it was about 10 to 15 touch points from a prospect to a sale. Because there's so much noise these days, you probably need anywhere close to about maybe 30 or 40 touch points just to have your foot in the door. So if we're able to further nurture the experience, and I always speak about this with our clients, you've got to have that first impression. Get that right. You get a little bit more buy-in, get a little bit more time for them to stay within the ecosystem. And so if you've got SMSs, if you've got emails, even if you've got the old, just give them a call, have a quick yarn with them. Those touch points, and we've seen this time and time again with our clients. Yeah, these emails, these ads, these SMS functions are great. But if I'm on the blower with someone who's the business owner, just having a general yarn about my business, I'm like, that's great. You know what? This guy's taken the time out to actually speak to us. I know it's not sort of scalable, but having those initial touch. We've got a client, CEO of a really big SaaS company, and one of the things was like, you know what? I'm going to get on the phone with them. I go, we've got quite a number of clients to call. It's like, I don't care. I'm just going to have a quick yarn with them. They're going to hear me over the phone. And so like, yeah, we'll do all the marketing spin and do the advertising. But some of the key touch points from people to go from prospect to sale are those general conversations. It's like, hey, understand. I hear you. Yeah. Which, by the way, I didn't do at the start. I try to, move away or delegate from sort of what my strength is. But lo and behold, you learn from your mistakes.
Always say to people, the sooner you can move people from digital, text-based to conversation, either phone, video, or in person, the better when you're trying to build a relationship and either convert a sale or maintain a client.
Yep. Because it may not be now, maybe 6 months down the track, but they'll remember the fact that Tristan gave me a call, spent time with me, learned a little bit more about us. Maybe our product wasn't good enough for Tristan at the time. Tristan sees the further development of it. Tristan, mate, remember me? Yeah, I'm jumping on board. I'm also bringing the fleet of whatever we have. So you're spot on. Relationships.
That's it. 2 questions here, and these are both leading questions.
Yeah, go
How
on.
many services we'll call them services? How many different services or offerings do you have?
In the market at the moment, one.
So, how many different front end you do, but how many different things do you deliver behind the
Oh,
scenes?
good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, gotcha. So from like a front end, we solve most of the sort of pre-sales, sales and reactivation.
Yep.
Within that journey, there's how long are we here for? Because it's not just, by the way, it's not just the online stuff that I feel like we can solve. It's a lot more about like, okay, what's a sales journey look like for your company? So we're speaking with the sales team,
So you do email marketing, landing page development, you do SMS market, you do paid ads, you do social media. How many, like if you look at it like that, how many different services do you have?
Oh, I mean, we're talking about AI as well. What else are we doing? I'd say 10 plus. Because whatever we learn, whatever new stuff that we do, we figure it out. We spend money on ourselves, and then we realize, hang on, that could work, and then we just add that part.
What's your headcount today?
Good question. Yeah, it's a 4.
Cool. So, how do you and your team get to sleep if you've got so many different services and you've only got a headcount of 4?
Through proper systems. I think one of my, and I had the question asked beforehand, why aren't you as successful as, those real big people on YouTube, which again, it's quite skewed because that's like 0.1% of the people in the world. But I'm like, hang on, wait, just look at what we do. Now, when I say I'm busy in the sense of like either development on certain products that we have internally or service delivery in terms of the guys are working on the implementation, the infrastructure. What I do is I make sure that the customer is fully heard. So when we talk about, and I'll go back to the original question, is like my time is spent nurturing and making sure that our clients are definitely well looked after. If there's hard conversations I need to have, I'm the first one to have it. But if there's any praise that are given to us, the team gets it. It's not me, it's the boys that are out there just working on it. So going back to the question, like, how do I sleep at night? Number one, I have a real big sense of trust in my team. I also do a lot of profiling on the boys as well. So we only select teams that we're very people who are, who will fit the culture of RH Media. But secondly, if there's a lot of things that we can automate, we'll absolutely automate it. Not at the expense of the customer relationship, but it's more like, hang on, these service delivery opportunities or features, if we have a strong SOP, if we have a strong process behind it, we can scale off the back of that. And that's also through technology too, because a lot of the stuff that used to be manual, just simply using ChatGPT and using these AI tools that popping up left, right, and center, if they solve a problem that we don't have to do, we'll implement it.
Yeah.
So we can scale quick without having to bring on so many people.
Because a lot of businesses that have that many services will struggle to be able to deliver and deliver at a high quality and still knock off at 6 or 7 at night kind of thing.
Yeah, totally. Well, as an example, like I've got a kid in a couple of weeks. I'm confident in my team to deliver and continue things working. I mean, will I still be involved with our clients? Absolutely. Like, because I love what I do. I see that we're a connection to their audience, and if we can solve that problem or be that gap, I'm more than happy to. I've also got to make sure that my partner's okay with it, which she is. She's always been someone like that, just to let me, let me serve my clients. But again, she's been with me since we were 18, and she's known me from day dot. So I think we work very well together. So I also got to take my hat off to her. She's a big reason why RH Media is quite successful, is because she looks after a lot of the things that I don't.
Yeah. So the success you've had is you've been able to adapt and implement technology and use systems and be very agile with that. So you've been very much at the forefront of tech development.
Yeah, of course. I think if you're not if you're in marketing or if you're in the online space and you're not, finding out what the latest, tool is, maybe it's also my personality as well. I mean, I'm a Gemini and someone who's always sort of seen and looking and playing, and I've always been consistent around that. So, hey, why not utilize that strength? The blind spot I have is I look at too many things. But again, I've got someone like Daniel, who's, I'd say he's second in charge with RH Media, who complements my weaknesses. So, as I said,
That's a
when I
big
look
thing.
at,
So not having people with the exact same personality type as you.
of course, because we won't get anything done if I had another Robin next door to me. It'd be chaos. But to be fair, as I said, like when I look at the team, I use a tool, and again, I've got great people around me, mentors, who give me the insights. So the Gallup Strengths Test, every one of our team goes through it. I ask them for their, uh, people might shoot me down for this, but it's more me understanding them. Ask them for their, the astrology side of things. Like what is their makeup from that perspective, their Myers-Briggs test. And if I'm able to better learn how they operate, it means I can assign them tasks and assign them parts of the business that they thrive in. For me, like I love my design, I love my tech, but I'm better with people. I love learning about people. I love learning about some of the concerns that they have, challenges within their business. And if we can solve it, I'll put my hand up and say, hey, give that to us. We've got you. Daniel, Stephen, Manny, they're the ones who implement. They're the brains behind it. They're the smart intellectual ones. I'm just someone who can have a good yarn, I think.
You can bring ideas together and you've got the ideas and you understand the process and you get the others to implement.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we've got a really good technician when it comes to the workflows, the automations. We've got strategy who comes up with these phenomenal ideas, and I'm like, wow, that's amazing. That's great. And then Stephen, who also works on the back end, but they're very, very good as well with our clients. Great communicator.
So it sounds like it's been a pretty cruisy journey since day one.
I mean, I wouldn't say. I mean, I'm not very public about certain things. Maybe I'm starting to get a little bit more like that because my son's been helping me sort of process, as an example, 1 month into my business, I lost my father. He passed away on New Ireland and we had to go back. So I was in euphoria going, you know what, I've quit my job and I have to, respectfully, don't have to work for someone. If we lose, it's on me. If we win, it's on me. And I get the news that he's moved on. I'm like, wait, what? I just started my business. Come on, man. I didn't have much in savings. I had to figure stuff out. Yeah, a lot of the stuff I speak about now, some of the principles and values, I put it to him because he taught me really early. You respect others, make sure you treat others the way that you want to be treated. You please, thank yous, don't swear. I find myself swearing a bit, but yeah, he's it was a hard pill to swallow at the time, but that probably makes it a lot more. How would you say it? Yeah, you sort of reflect on certain things and go, you know what, that's what he taught me. I feel like that's how some of our successes come about, by tapping back into the proper values and principles of what we grew up, me and my brother.
Yeah, totally. So
it wasn't crazy. I mean, it was, but it wasn't, but it was, but it wasn't. I don't know.
you've planned actions. You've been very thoughtful with your actions throughout growing the business. So
Yeah, I think so. To your point about family as well, that was one thing I optimized during this business. Like, I think I had a lifestyle business for the first couple of years. As long as my finances were covered, my partner wasn't covering my share. I was able to spend time with Tama. I know that the years between 0 and 5 is most important. And I love what you're talking about with was it your daughter before this
son.
call?
Yeah, my son.
Sorry. Like the fact that you're giving him time, that's the most important bit. So it's what I'm learning at the moment. I think I'm not probably as good as perhaps you are in that sense, but I feel like, if I listen to the things that you do and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I might implement that. Or yeah, I'm always learning. That's why I ask about you before the call.
Yeah, it's always like, and that's what I do. Like, it's always asking, learning from others and what we want to do, emulate, and what we don't want to emulate from others. So
Yeah, of course.
we've got our persona and we've got our anti-persona, so to speak. So what would, if you had your time again through growing the business, what would you do differently?
It's funny you said that. I actually spoke to a good friend of mine about this, and it would be actually focusing on what I was really good at, and that was just being able to communicate with people. I think a lot of the ego at the start, running this new business, look at me, I'm in marketing. Although I never portrayed it like that, internally I was like, you know what, if I actually asked the closest people around me to help, it definitely was ego. I was like, let me prove myself outside of the realms of my local community. Funny enough, most of our best results have been those that have been around me when I've gone, hey, like, we can solve that. Let me look after that for you. Yeah, of course, Rob, here, take it. Like, and here I was going at the start, where am I going to get my clients from? I'm trying these ads, are not working. I'm trying to do these cold calling outreach, cold SMSs, cold emails. I'm like, what are you doing? There's people here you can help serve. So if I had my time again, I'd be going straight to my friends and family going, hey, I've just started a marketing agency. I've started an advertising agency. Let me help. I wouldn't say it in that way, but I'd be like, I really want to be able, I'll do it for you. I wouldn't say for free, because I think there's an element of a lack of responsibility, a lack of ownership there. But if you're able to negotiate,
needs to be a value transfer.
Spot on. Yeah, there needs to be something that you give me, I give you. So you're not going to let them down because you're getting paid for it. So there's that element of like, hang on, I need to pull my head in. I need to work. I need to support or even serve my clients. Get that first win under your belt. Get a bit of momentum on you. Get a second, third, fourth, fifth. Make sure you get testimonials. Get them to speak praises about your services. Then go out to market and serve the cold, sort of the outer audiences. But don't do what I did and neglect that, because I think I'll definitely be a lot further ahead. But also, it's a lot more fulfilling, I think, as well, because you've got your mums and dad businesses who don't even know how to turn on a computer respectfully. Yet here you are, who knows how to do that. Spend time on social media hours upon end, knows the landscape. Go out and serve them, help them out, bring their business to the market that they desperately need.
Yeah. Going back to the ego thing, I don't know if you know much about my backstory, but I had a 7-figure business in my mid-20s, and I was like, my shit doesn't stink. I had the biggest ego. No one could help me. I was like, I'm in my mid-20s. I've got a 7-figure business. Within 6 months, I was 250 grand in debt, and my marriage was down the drain. So
I
needed to get over my ego really quickly and learn that I don't know everything.
Hey, to be fair though, you're in your mid-20s, and hey, hats off to you as well to actually develop something like that. You've obviously got a skill set there, but also I believe as well, like resilience. You can't necessarily push further or develop or grow if you don't go through resilience, or don't develop resilience through those pains.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, we need to learn. Like we'll call it better from our life experiences.
Yeah. And hey, don't get me wrong. When I was in my 20s, I thought I knew everything. I thought my shit didn't stink as well. And lo and behold, you come back humble pie. But that's life, isn't it? That's life.
Yeah, that's it. Now, okay. So what do you see happening in the space? Like, what are you going to, over the next few years, how are you going to see the industry change, or what do you need to do to take the next step in your business as well?
Yeah. So we obviously know that AI is here, has been here for quite some time, to be fair. Conversations I have, and again, it's only anecdotal, but ChatGPT is still used as a tool to have fun with, and just some things that aren't really, I guess beneficial. We talk about how we leverage AI, certain tasks and responsibilities, we've learned through our own, trial and error is, you've got to be, you can't be complacent in this space. And, when it comes to AI, if you're not leveraging it and using it at this point in time for your business or for what you want to do in terms of learning and developing, then you're going to get continuously left behind. So where we see ourselves, rather than us actually focusing more on workflows and automations and what we can serve, I think one of the big things that will start to appear is the importance of customer relationships, is the importance of having a yarn with real people. Because now you can tell if an email has been curated by GPT. You can tell if an SMS has been curated. You can tell if a Facebook post is. So I think what happens is, whilst people are still looking at AI as, I'm going to leverage that in the business, we're also looking at, okay, what are ways that we can differentiate ourselves to show that, hang on, it's not GPT, it's not AI, it's not some technology. The more emphasis, I think, around the individual person and the relationship building aspect of it is probably going to be most important. So where we pivot, we're still going to provide services around this. Don't get me wrong about it. But I think one thing that's I'm building behind the scenes, and I'm open to say this as well, is, we've got sort of, and this is up through my own experience, is I want to teach the younger ones, those entrepreneurs that are coming out, how to actually build relationship, how to actually get buy-in from the person in front of you, understand the high human psychology, understand the nuances that come with body language and tonality and facial expressions. By learning that's sort of an evergreen skill set that you can have going forward.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that's very important, especially where we're going with tech, which completely disregards what we're doing from a tech perspective. But obviously that learning about that emphasizes the importance of what we bring to our clients through tech, if that makes sense.
Yep, totally. Because tech is just the implementation. It's the tool.
Yeah.
So
yep.
At the end of the day, it's relationships and impact, how we can help others. And the tech is just implementing it.
Exactly. It's like, just identify the problem. What is the problem that they're experiencing? Yeah. Okay, cool. That's the problem. Let me find the tech to solve it, or let me find the person to solve it. That's really it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Robin, we've already been talking for almost 40 minutes. So believe it or not, we're going to have to wrap it up.
No, that's a J up. That's I thought we were just getting started, mate.
I think we're going to have to do another one. So we might have to do another one. If people want to get in touch with you, have another conversation and learn a bit more about you, what's the best way to get in touch?
Yeah, funny enough, social media. Go over to my Instagram at Robin Hanuki. You can find us as well on YouTube, but also our website as well. rhmedia.io is our website. And yeah, if you come through, I'd love to have a chat. But Tristan, I also want to thank you as well for being part of this, but more importantly, what you're doing for the community, mate. I've watched a number of your interviews already, and I can just say that, I think some of the great people you've had on board has been beneficial and will be beneficial for a lot of people that come across your stuff. So again, thanks for having me, and as well, thanks for doing what you do.
Awesome, mate. Thank you very much.
No worries.
That's a wrap. Thanks for tuning into The Growth Equation. If you've enjoyed the show, hit that subscribe button and leave a review. It helps us big time. Catch you next time. And if you want more, head over to evolvetogrow.com.au for show notes and exclusive content.